Hello friends, magicians, performers, artists. This is a story I have to tell you so that you don't get scammed in the way that I almost did. They lured me in by promising me work to go and perform overseas, and I almost sent them money like an idiot, but it was so believable. So the long and short of it is, if you don't want to watch this whole video, is that a church group called New Hope Church Group. Now they are actually legit, but there was a scam group acting on their behalf with an actual email linked to the website saying, we would like to hire you to come and perform overseas. And they agreed on my fee and everything. And they're like, but before we send you the deposit, you have to have this bond insurance authorization. So you have to send us the money for that. But we're going to pay you your deposit anyway. And that bond insurance you get back once you leave the country. And that was how they were going to scam me, because as soon as I sent them that $1,000, I would be ghosted. Now, if I backtrack a little bit, the reason why I'm saying this, because in hindsight now, that's a scam. They're sending you money before you have to get money from them. Of course, that's a scam. But here's what really lures you in, and really why I want to stress this so you don't get caught. Because as a performer, it's so appealing when someone's saying how much they want to hire you and that you are recommended by them and they want to pay your fee and all those kinds of things. You can really pretend that these red flags aren't there. So 2 weeks ago, I get this inquiry through my website, through my form submission, and it says, do you travel overseas? We want to hire you to come and perform in South Africa for our big 1,000-person conference that we run as a church group to help business development in our city. So this all looks pretty normal, but it's coming from a church group, so I don't know if they're going to have the budget for it, if it's legit. But I look on their website, that looks normal. The inquiry comes from a Pastor Darren, and the way they're writing is like, with blessings, Pastor Darren. It all seems like it should. So I respond and I send them a quote, and I get a bit more info from them, and I send them a quote for 10,000 Australian dollars, 10,000 AUD. And also, they would have to cover expenses and flights and that kind of thing. And within a day, they come back saying, that's amazing. We have sponsors that put a budget aside for the speakers and performers we bring here, and that fits within our budget. And you were actually recommended by one of the sponsors of the events. They saw your videos. And that plays to your ego. You're like, finally, all this content putting online actually pays off. And someone saw my video and this is great. So they actually send me a contract. They say, our team is going to reach out to you. And they do, from a separate email, still linked to that main website. And they're like, here's the agreement. And there's lots of branding and very specific terms that are used when getting booked for an event. And I'm reading through it. They're going to fly me business class, which is weird, but I overlooked that because I'm just so excited. And it says the fee, and they're like, we're going to pay you half the fee. So we're going to send you a $5,000 deposit once you send back this signed agreement and send us a copy of your visa and insurance and all that kind of stuff, so that we know there's not going to be any problems with you coming here. And it says right at the bottom, one of the things you need is this, what do they call it? A bond authorization travel insurance for South Africa. Basically what they said to me was the government has a new policy where you have to pay a bond, similar to when you rent an apartment. A bond in which you get back when you leave the country, but it assures them you have the funds to support yourself while you're there. And they said it in such a way that maybe it was true, but there was nothing about it anywhere online. So lesson number one for you, my friends, is anytime anyone is asking you for money, especially if it's a visa, because there are always forms and visas and requirements you need when you're traveling overseas, but this was just a new one. This is super weird. So I couldn't find it anywhere online. And so I asked them, could you just send me a link to the government website of South Africa where it states this is a regulation or a requirement? And they sent back saying, oh, it's a very new policy, but we don't want you to get stuck and not be allowed in once you get here. So here's the name and email address of the person we liaise with for all our speakers that come here to our conferences, and they'll set it up for you. So again, they've not answered my question, but sort of tried to keep the ball rolling in a very professional seeming manner. But that's when the first red flag. So I've been talking with them for like 2 weeks, and only then did the flag really prick up. I'm like, it would be on their website if that was a true thing. So I do some Googling. I can't find anything about it. And then I decide to type in New Hope Church Group scam, and things start to pop up. There's a Facebook group, the Facebook thread that this church group, which is legit. I want to say this is actually a real church group. New Hope Group Church is not like affiliated with this scam, but this scamming company are using them as a front, because why would you think a church is trying to scam you? So they had to put out a press release saying, hey, there are people acting as if they're us, so don't send them money if you get emails from them. And then I saw underneath that someone actually commented, hey, I got an email from a pastor, Jared, saying they want to book me for their conference. Is that real? And they're like, no, it isn't, sorry. So that's when I realized, oh my God, I'm getting scammed so hard right now. And then I sent them one more email really grilling them on this regulation. And they scrapped all of the niceness and with blessings in their emails and all that stuff. And they just sent me a really rude, you must have this to be able to come here. This is the person you need to use. I've told you it's not on the government website, so it has to be done through this person. Anyway, problem solved. I didn't send them any money, but I did send them my biography, my photos to use on their website conference, because again, everything seemed very normal, like a booking would be. And I have done events overseas, and you do go through those kinds of things. But I don't want anyone to get scammed, especially not my fellow magicians. So and I know they're constantly doing this scam. So if you get an inquiry for South Africa and it's for a church conference, please just know that's not real. And if you want to find out if it is real, get them to send you a deposit first, because you should never, ever have to send money to anyone else for an event that you're getting paid to go and perform at. Even when I've gone to India, the conference paid for my visa to go there. So just stay safe, my friends, especially coming into the holidays. You're going to get lots of inquiries. Just vet them and don't get excited and send the money in the hopes that you're about to get the deposit for your booking anyway. So happy holidays, my friends. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.